Hello and welcome to Kump.
Hello.
Hello, Lucie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Blessed be the Lord and the meat of the Lord.
What are you getting into? What kind of scam are we running here? You want to start a ministry?
That would be great. Yeah.
We could run some kind of high level church scam with a meat scam. Church and meat, where church meets the meat.
We could just be basically the Catholic Church, but we give you meat instead of crackers.
Well, I've always said that about the Catholic Church and the whole Eucharist thing. That, just brass tacks here. The reality is, they argue that, well, it's a cracker, but it becomes Jesus during the Mass, right? The body of Christ. And I've always said, and then they go, oh, well, look, God can do whatever he wants. I'm like, sure he could. So he could turn this into, I believe. Amen. So he can turn this into meat, into human flesh, into hair, with the skin, but he doesn't. That's what we do. That's where we come in. We're the new kid in town meat party. Wait, that's got a connotation to it, doesn't it? It's not sex. It's just church. It's with meat.
Yeah.
I was thinking more that we'd sell meat. We'd sell. I don't mean like rancid meat, but we sell is goat cheaper than beef? Around the world it is. I don't know if I wanted to buy goat, is it actually cheaper in New York? I don't know. But I know around the world it's a cheaper it's like cheaper to produce goat, so it should be. But I don't. Where do you buy goat around? I'm sure you can. There's tons of butchers, and I was one. We didn't sell goat at my butcher shop, but there's tons of what people would call ethnic butcher. But I think that just sounds wrong.
Yeah.
Call it indigenous. No, it's not indigenous. I guess different sorts of specialty stores that sell specialty meats. I'm not getting canceled over this. All right, we get the woke police out of my church. Well, goat should be cheaper, right?
Sure.
So pretend it's beef, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we get brought down.
Well, look, I feel like even if you were doing this very ethically and it was high quality meat,
it won't be ethical.
That wasn't going to.
I don't know what we're going to do, but it won't be ethical.
No, but I'm saying even if it was like great meat that you're selling at a fair price.
Yes.
I don't think you're not supposed to profit off of your church leadership.
What are you new? This is your first rodeo? What do you think this is? It's profit-free. No, it's tax-free meat profits. That's what we're going for. We're the only butcher shop that's tax-free because it's blessed meat.
Blessed meat.
It's like, oh, but this is actually goat. That's the miracle. It becomes beef when you eat it.
Yeah. Look, it's a great
Who are
plan.
you to sully my hand in the divinity of the Christ child eating meat? Bring me to one of your secular courts, and I will bring down raindrops full of ass.
I think also another cool thing would be if, for the saints, I feel like we could make more hay out of the saints. We could maybe have like a little NFTs or something. It's like a little gift.
We kind of missed the boat in this one.
Of
I think we missed the NFT boat, but go ahead.
Of of a saint with their eyes gouged out, screaming.
You watch too much Oz.
Yeah.
Too much of HBO's Oz. But sure, which saint had their eyes gouged out?
Saint Lucie, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yeah.
What the hell are we talking about here?
My grandmother.
Your grandma had her eyes gouged out?
Yeah.
I don't know. Was she actually beatified or whatever? Or she just had her eyes gouged out?
Well, my little French grandmother, who was also named Lucie, had a book that she would always read to me from when I was like a little kid. That was called like the Lives of the Saints.
Sure.
Or the Illustrated Lives of the Saints.
Right.
And it was like the goriest shit. And it was just like every other. And she loved showing me the story of Saint Lucie.
Right. Getting her eyes gouged out. By who? The Philistines?
There was this like Portuguese prince who wanted to marry her because of her like beautiful eyes.
Right.
But she was committed to Catholicism. And so she gouged out her eyes and put them on a plate and gave them to the prince.
Did she try saying no? What is this? Your grandma, I mean, bless her heart. That's sick. That's sick stuff. You're telling me. So she, and also, like, what's wrong? Like, was she just racist, Lucie? Did she just not like Portuguese guys?
Well, I think the Portuguese guy was like, another kind of
like Brazilian
religion.
Oh, okay.
Like, he was Protestant or something.
Look, do you believe that the Eucharist is a hairy piece of flesh? Well, no, that doesn't seem to make sense to me. Gouged, eyes gouged. You can't marry. You could. I wouldn't have forced you. This is this can't be on my conscience. I'm just a Portuguese prince. I mean, this is crazy shit. Can't believe you just gouged your. Well, I've got plenty of women. We've been dating for a while. Why didn't you say something earlier? All I did was ask you if you wanted to marry.
That was the one where it's like, because most of the stories are like they were just persecuted and
St. Peter was crucified.
They get set on fire or whatever.
Upside down, right?
Yeah.
It didn't seem that big a deal. I guess the blood rushes to your head.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's pleasant.
I mean, you're being crucified. How do you even crucify? I mean, when you realize what crucifixion is, because as a kid you think it's like, oh, you get nailed to a cross and you're dead. But then when you're older and you're in Catholic school, they teach you, no, you sink down, like your arms, you have to hold up your body, and when you can't hold it up anymore, you suffocate. Does that work upside down? Or that guy just like hanging there for like having crows pick at him for 2 weeks?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Get that book. Someone in your family have that book?
I've been looking for it for a while, on and off.
We're gonna do a special episode on the lives of the saints for All Saints Day.
There's pictures of women's just tits getting cut off. It's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Is this just porn for like the late 19th century?
Yeah, kind of.
Jeez. Anyway, welcome to the show. We got more church stuff later, I think, but not to do with our meat church, but there's things going on with the Catholic Church. But before we get to that, there are multiple heat waves spanning the globe, apparently. Do you know much about this?
A little bit, yeah.
So we talked about in the Patreon about the England one, and we talked about how Celsius was a stupid temperature convention. People responded that it wasn't. That apparently Celsius, because I was saying I can't relate to English people dying in the heat because it's always like, it's 40 degrees.
Yeah, the optics of it are bad.
To me, yeah. But apparently 100 is boiling water over there and 0 is freezing water. I don't live my life based on water, though. All right? So for cooking, that sounds nice. How about we just agree to use it for cooking? But otherwise, there should be weather and there's just cooking temperature, right? Because boiling water at 100 makes sense, right? But like 40 degrees, and I'm gonna dehydrate to death. That can't be true. I can't allow that to be my life.
Well, I think it's factually true, but it doesn't feel.
I can't allow that to be my reality. But apparently, we're in the middle of a heat wave. It's hot. I didn't realize it was a heat wave. How hot is it out there?
It's soupy.
It's soupy. It's muggy.
I went out for a walk earlier today, and I was a soup.
Yeah, you were a soup. You felt soupy when you came back.
Yeah.
You felt like a can of New England clam chowder. And, no, it was fine. I mean, it smelled like one. You just felt like one.
Yeah.
And apparently that's ending. And it's going to the Northeast heat wave is ending, and it's going to the Pacific Northwest. I don't know. It's all over the globe. I have solutions.
Really?
Potentially. Why can't we just inject ice water into people's veins? What would happen? Wouldn't that cool you down?
Well, I don't think water is supposed to go in your veins.
What if an old woman comes to me? She doesn't have an air conditioner, right? And she says, Bambino, I was doing my novenas, and I passed out. And I just stick her with a needle, and it's full of really cold water. What happens? Does she die, or does she feel great?
Look, I doubt she would die, but I don't think it's going to solve her temperature.
Why is she coming to me in the first place? You come to me, you get solutions. I mean, they'd be the best solutions.
Sometimes putting water near the big veins helps. Or not water, ice.
Right.
We could make little ice. Maybe we could make little cold scarves.
Cold scarves made of what? Meat?
made of like, packaged ice or whatever, but they're fashionable.
Where are we gonna get this ice? We live in, it's not easy to get ice around here. They sell cups of like Dixie cups full of ice for like $2 or $3. It's very inefficient.
Well, you could get like, you could knit together like long ice packs.
What if I get like a bunch of, I don't know, cold COVID vaccines? And I just start like
COVID vaccine.
But they're cold.
I think all the COVID vaccines have to be a little bit cold.
I don't know how to help people. I'm trying to help people, but like I'm not gonna let them into my air conditioned unit. Perhaps I could like what makes people cold? Getting like which disease?
Well, I guess
AIDS.
I guess having the flu, you get like kind of cold and hot sweats.
Give them the flu. What if they got COVID? Weren't we chilly when we got COVID, even though we were in the middle of Texas?
I think I had kind of like hot and cold feelings.
How about we just? Isn't it good that this BA 515 Johnny 5 is spreading around? Anyway, I don't know. I was reading this article about this woman who was saving up to get air conditioners, because the heat in Texas, and they were trying to make me feel bad because she has kids and didn't have an air conditioner, and they mentioned their job was a custom T-shirt maker.
Really?
And I couldn't sympathize. I mean, what do you think those custom T-shirts say? Like, were they just like ass, gas, or grass? No one, I mean, I don't know. Maybe get a job at Walmart.
Yeah, that's not the most reliable trade, selling custom T-shirts.
I mean, it's just those like shirts that say like federal bitch inspector. What's the gay version of that? Federal boy, federal ball inspector. Yeah, federal ball inspector.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
but so you basically think this woman is maybe taking advantage of the public's compassion,
sympathy? I don't know. I mean, or maybe she just doesn't realize that she has a bad job.
Yeah.
Sure. Know. I mean, it's a good economy, right? Like for jobs, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Someone's got to tell this woman that there's jobs now. I feel like she got this job in 2009 when, like, in the last, recession, and she started making T-shirts that says, like, go home Nader or something. Or like, hey, Hillary Clinton or whatever. And then, like, no one told her there's jobs now. You can work other things besides, like this. It's just doing it silk screen, silk screen, or does she have like are these inkjet printers that like you ever have those things? You just iron on things, you print it out on a bubble jet printer or an inkjet printer, and you iron it on. There's a picture of your grandma.
I mean, I usually wouldn't ask this, but does this woman have a name? Does she have a site? Can we look at her T-shirts?
I will not promote. I don't know what her T-shirts are. They might be. For all I know, they're race hate. It's the middle of Texas. I don't know what they do. It's just God hates this, and fill in the blank.
Yeah.
But anyway, this all wraps around to the fact that it's very hot out, and I don't know.
Yeah, and people are going crazy. I mean, have you ever had like sun poisoning or anything like that?
I used to go when I was boogie board as a child. I had pink boogie boards. Well, my brother had one too. It was a pink boogie board made of, basically like, styrofoam. And I was terrible at it. I would just, let the water carry me to the sandy beach and get bit by a crab. But I would get so burned that my skin would bubble up, like not just blister, but bubble.
Oh, Jesus.
It'd be a bubble this big on my back.
Why didn't someone put sun lotion on you?
I mean, I think we did, but we were out the whole day, whatever. Why do you think I always say, get the sunblock? Get the sunblock. I'm like, we go walk to the deli. And I'm like, give me some sunblock.
Aren't you German? I thought Germans were supposed to tan
We're
kind of well.
We're fair-skinned, famously. I mean, infamously fair-skinned.
I thought Germans tended to tan a little bit better.
Well, I'm a quarter Irish and a quarter Polish. None of this seems like a Mediterranean boy. None of this seems like I'm a swarthy, whatever, like Italian or Spanish or Portuguese. Swarthy is a good word, right? I think so. Swarthy? Yeah. I mean, no. I have skin that turns to like, alligator. So if I have reptilian skin in the sun. So yeah. What was the point of that? No. So yeah, I don't do well with that.
Yeah.
But what about you? Have you had a sunstroke?
I did. I got sun poisoning one time after I went to the beach like in the early morning with friends.
Yeah.
And then I went to work after. I was like at a waitressing job I had.
Yeah.
And I just like halfway through my shit, I was beet red. Like people pointed it out.
Right.
But I was like, whatever. I got sunburned.
Was you woke and toke? Wake and bake?
yeah. It was like the one time that I decided. I usually don't like consciously sunbathe or anything.
No, I'm saying like smoke weed, like get up early in the morning, smoking that ganja.
I think now that you mentioned, I think maybe we did have a couple of drinks or something.
Yeah, you're probably getting drunk in the morning before your shift, just fucking going. We're young, we're full of common guns of gum, right? And you're just fucking guzzling beers.
Well, it wasn't exactly.
And you passed out on the beach.
I don't know if it's a fair characterization that I was guzzling beers.
Whatever, we've all done it.
Yeah, I maybe had a hard seltzer or something, but I just got
2 shots of Jaeger at the beach. nice Jaeger shot, a nice hot Jaeger shot.
Just getting just getting tattoos from heroin addicts.
When you drink,
guzzling beer.
When you get drunk at the beach, do you just like, as you're laying in the sand, just piss right in the sand? Just like, you're like so drunk, you're like, you can do it in the water. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, I piss and shit in the water when you go to the beach. People do that. It's disgusting.
This is your perception of me, that I'm just some beach scum.
No, you just got really drunk and you're just like, it's the beach. It don't matter, because you forget that it's the water you can do that. Not the sand.
I didn't get super wasted. I had like a hard seltzer and I took a nap.
Fair enough.
I took a nap in the sun. But yeah, about halfway through my shift, I just started feeling really sick. Like really not. Like honestly, it might be the sickest I've ever felt in my life.
Really?
Yeah. No, it feels really bad.
Yeah.
And like and then I apparently somebody pointed out that I was just turning really pale.
Yeah.
And like
when I go to the beach, I cover myself in towels. You've seen this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I cocoon myself. I mean, I'll go in the water, but when I'm not in the water, I'm cocooned with towels.
Yeah.
And that's, you can say it's not sexy or it's not cool.
I thought you were just shy.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna shit and piss in the sand. That's that won't be sexy either. Me just fucking going, well, it's all right, it's sand, you can shit in it. No one wants that. Speaking of water and beaches and stuff, you were telling me this story about a woman who was had an incident with a fish.
There was this fish. I mean, it kind of looks like a swordfish. It's
show it on the screen.
It's called a sailfish.
A sailfish. Yeah.
It has like one of these pointy noses.
It's got a very large, it looks like its head is a fin. And then it's got a big pointy nose.
Yeah. And it looks kind of elegant. They got kind of an elegant shot of it.
I think it's disgusting.
It looks like a ballerina.
I think it looks like what you imagine a whale would shit. A whale shit would look like. Sleek. It's pointy. I don't like this at all. I would never get stabbed by this thing.
But the headline is a 73-year-old woman.
A 73-year-old woman?
This fish stabbed a 73-year-old woman in the pussy.
Oh, my God. Well, it's not the headline. The headline just says gored by a 100-pound sailfish.
Yeah, but she got gored in the pussy.
Did it say pussy?
It says groin. They're not going to say pussy, but that's what it is.
So you think it was trying to have sex with her?
I mean, why would it dive right at her pussy?
Because that's where babies come from.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Did she live?
Yeah.
What did she have to say about the situation?
She said.
You think it felt bad the whole time?
I don't think it felt nice.
Ever? I mean, it's a long pointy thing. Maybe at first it felt like, oh, this is interesting. I'm an older woman. People don't pay attention to me anymore. This fish is just being playful.
Yeah.
And but then it's like, oh no, it's not stopping.
Yeah.
And then it goes inside her, like inside her like organs in a womb. Terrible. Very, very, very violent fish. The ocean, I've always said the ocean's full of mystery and death, and like children are just murdered in the ocean constantly.
Yeah.
And like, it's just not a place for kids. It's just people shit in the ocean, fish shit in the ocean. Old women are stabbed in pussies.
Yeah.
By fish or otherwise.
Even the things that
I've always said this.
Famously said
Famously.
This. Even the things that can kill you are disgusting and
traumatizing. Seaweed.
Horseshoe crabs.
Gross.
Did you ever play with horseshoe crabs when you were a kid?
No. What? I had toys. I wasn't a rich boy, but we had some toys. I had a few Ghostbusters action figures. I didn't have to play with horseshoe crabs. What are you talking about?
My brothers and I, when we were little and we were at the beach, we would go around finding dead horseshoe crabs, and we'd like flip them over and just look at them.
Show me a picture of a horseshoe crab. I'm sure I've seen one. But no, I never tried to kill a kid with a horseshoe crab when I was a kid. Oh, these things.
Yeah.
They're disgusting.
Yeah, they're gross.
So what are you guys? You guys are just fucking like, use them as like utensils and eat pudding?
I mean, they're just kind of like cool to look at. Like
disgusting. I would never want it. It looks like an alien.
Yeah.
It looks like a face hugger. You think lonely boys use those? It looks like something you might,
What, for fleshlights?
Yeah, it looks like nature's, fleshlight, I guess.
I think these things are these little legs inside. I don't know if they feel good on your penis.
Well, what about those legs? Wouldn't go. I mean, they would go on your balls probably.
I mean,
do you know how sex works? The whole thing, penis only goes to the one part, then the rest of it hugs your balls.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this like milky center.
It's gross. I don't feel good being a part of this discussion. Anyway, moving on. So is there a story here with the woman, or is that just it? I don't want to denigrate this woman's heritage or this woman's like legacy by just dismissing her as a. Did she struggle? Did she kill the fish? Did she catch it afterwards? Did it stab her in the pussy and then like swim away? And she's like, not so fast. Give me some cheese. I'm putting it on the line. And she casts it into the ocean.
You know those pictures where like the big fish is hanging upside down and someone's pointing to it?
Yeah.
Someone snaps a picture and she's just pointing at her pussy.
Is the fish even there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still like hanging off.
Yeah. Oh, it's inside her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So no, there's no details here.
She said the fish moved so fast she did not have time to react.
Why you got weight train or something?
Yeah.
You just can't. Old women can't just be allowed to like rot and watch Murder, She Wrote or whatever they do. My grandma was not alive anymore, but if she was, I'd be throwing fish at her every day. Not in her, I'm not gonna like, hey, here's a fish, let me throw you a pussy. No, it's my grandma. But I mean, you want your grandma to have some reaction time,
right? Yeah, that's true.
But
apparently this is the fastest fish in the ocein. So she got by a super predator.
I mean, she should have a gun. Why didn't she have a gun?
You think she should have a gun just in case?
Yeah. How did it get in? Where was she?
On a boat, probably.
We think about the logistics of this. So she's on a boat. Did they just like dive up and then at her pussy, or like? So
okay. There actually is a quote on this. Louis and Dominic. I guess these are the two guys who were kind of in charge of the boat.
Hey, I'm going out with Louis and Dominic. We're gonna go fishing. Shut up! I'm a grown woman. I can do what I want. Oh, Louis has got a great reel. You know what I mean?
So Louis,
he knows how to cast a reel. Louis and Dominic's there. He'll just hold me up. She's a real salty broad.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. Sorry if I'm.
Louis and Dominic indicated.
I think you stabbed me in the pussy. Dominic, pull it out. I thought it was Dominic at first, but it's this fish.
So Louis and Dominic indicated the sailfish jumped up out of the water and stabbed Catherine in the groin area.
Wait, are we sure it's a fish? Are we sure Lewis and Dominic weren't trying to get some insurance money here? Like, what happened?
Wait, how would they get insurance money?
Well, I mean, like, they took a policy out on her. No. I mean, they thought she died. Look, they stabbed her. Like, they're not terrible guys. They got a little drunk. They thought she had cancer. And, like, we're taking, what's her name?
Catherine, I think.
Why don't we take Catherine out on the boat? We'll stab her a little bit. Tell her a fish did it. And then when she dies, we get the money. And then, but they felt bad as soon as they did it. Like, they stabbed her. They go, ow! He goes, oh, no. And immediately he had, like, this, like, Catholic guilt, Dominic. And he's like, oh, you got stabbed by a fish, a wave fish, right? It's like a swordfish. Catherine, it's like a swordfish stabbed you in the pussy, not me.
Yeah, look, that's possible.
I
love how you need like a special category of guilt to feel bad about stabbing a woman in the pussy with a fish.
Well, Catholic guilt is a famous type of guilt.
That's true.
They're very guilty people. I went to Catholic school for 12 years. I never felt that guilty about anything. But, whatever. Like, if I did that, I would, but I would never do that. What Lewis and Dominic, might have done.
Right. What they might have done. What they allegedly did.
But no one but me is even imagining. But no, so what? So sorry, go ahead. I cut you off. So
it jumped out and stabbed her while she was standing next to the center console of the boat.
Oh, maybe you think they're just annoyed? Look, Lewis is just like, Catherine, you're drunk, Catherine. Stay away from my center console. I have a brand new depth finder. I paid $200 for that depth finder. Don't go near it. You had too many White Claws, Catherine. And she kept like nudging it and knocking it. And eventually, he just like hit her with a knife. And he felt bad with the Catholic guilt.
Oh, okay. This entire time I was like imagining your scenario, but they're still stabbing her with the fish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They had like scaling knife, maybe.
It's a perfect weapon.
I mean, walking around, it's not as good as a hammer because, like, if a cop stopped you with a hammer, you could be like, I'm going to go build a church. So fuck you, officer. But, I mean, if you're walking around with a big fucking, head of a swordfish, yeah, like, what are you doing? I'm going to go get this fish weighed for a contest. I mean, maybe it holds
Yeah, but
up.
what's the better weapon after you've murdered someone with it? The fish.
How so?
Because when the fish is bloody, you can blame it on the fish. But when you can't explain, you can't say I'm going to build a church with this bloody hammer.
Wait, so you're going to walk around with a whole swordfish? Yeah. Crazy. I mean, you're on land.
Well, you don't walk around all
You're
day.
on land. You're in the middle of like, what if you're in the middle, like you're 10 miles from the shore.
Wait.
You're insinuating some swordfish to stab the guy?
Wait, so in your perfect murder, you're just going to walk around with a murder weapon all day, every day?
No, the point is, the reason it's an effective thing is because and people do it. I'm not the guy who invented hammers as a weapon. But the reason is, it's more about, look, when stuff happens, you get rid of the weapon, I imagine. I've never done this. But I mean, like, the point is, but you can get caught. If you walk around with a gun in New York City, I don't know about now, but if you get caught, you're going to jail, right? Mm. You get caught with a hammer, not as much.
I don't think you can just walk around with a loose hammer in New York City. You have to have a tool belt or something.
All right, so you put it on a tool belt. You can't walk around with a holster and a gun.
That's true.
Yeah, so you have a tool belt. You pretend to be like a dipshit contractor. Or whatever, a handyman. I'm the handyman. I'm the janitor. I'm the king of Israel. Whatever, like, because he was Jesus.
Yeah.
The carpenter.
Sure.
Yes,
he was. I know him well.
He was they call him the king of Israel?
The king of the Israelites, I think is what they call him.
That's what you say.
Or king of the Jews.
I'm honoring the king of the Israelites. Stuff like that. So what's going on with Lewis and Dom? Are they all right? Are they scarred?
Well, I guess I guess Lewis and Dominic saved her. You're slandering these men, but they're heroes.
We're just imagining scenarios here.
I mean, Lewis.
Well, not heroes. I don't know that makes you a hero when like your elderly friend gets stabbed in the pussy and you hold a rag on her. Doesn't make you a hero. It's a decent thing to do.
A lesser man would have just thrown her out overboard.
Oh, let her bleed out. Don't touch her. You might get the disease. What disease? The fish might be attracted to your hand.
Wait, this is funny. This is like the second to last sentence in the article.
Yeah.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission says sailfish, quote, are known for their fast runs, acrobatic jumps, and head-shaking attempts to throw a hook.
This guy who wrote this article is just really too into the fish. This is.
Yeah.
Did he also write?
No, there's definitely a theme in this article where they're too into the fish.
Is there also a paragraph they go, this fish is a menace?
Yeah.
It stabs you in the pussy. Moving on. Well, thoughts and prayers to Catherine. Hope she's doing well.
Yeah.
And Lois and Dominic, they did the right thing.
Yeah.
As long as they didn't do it.
As long as this isn't an elaborate plot.
Right. I mean, which I don't think it is, to be clear. We have a new, for lack of a better term, a new Edward Snowden, a new whistleblower, right?
Yeah.
What is their name?
Their name is Reality Winner.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't understand. This is bothering me immensely. So there's a Reality Winner. See, this is my problem here. You can rename yourself, call yourself Car Battery, call yourself the Duke of Ducks. But this is like what, The Guardian?
Yeah.
Reality Winner says she leaked file on Russian election hacking because, quote, public was being lied to. I mean, why are we just accepting the name?
The name is weird.
Is this a what kind of person is this? Is this a man, a woman, a trans person? What is this? Reality Winner.
Also,
I know a guy whose last name was Winner. It's possible to be named Winner. Did their parents name them Reality, like Winner?
It's possible.
This is insane. I don't know what they leaked. I don't know who they are, what access they had. I will take my chances with Big Brother. I will let, the Milk Plus vodka, orange, what was it in Brave New World? The drugs in Brave New World. Emmanuel Goldstein and Thought Police. What else? The Stasi.
Yeah, Give me the Animal Farm.
Yeah, all those pigs on the Animal Farm. Before I listen to anything from someone named Reality Winner. Is that look up just Google who is Reality Winner. This is insane. It's a picture of someone in a military uniform. I'm guessing it's a woman.
It seems like it's a she.
A she, okay. So who is she? Did she choose that name? If not, why didn't she change that name? That name is absurd.
Also, she looks 10 in all of these pictures.
I hate this situation.
These whistleblowers keep getting younger and younger.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. But what? This is my problem. Not that Wikipedia has a section where you can look at it and go, Reality was born this, but changed her name for whatever arbitrary reasons. Fair enough. I could go to sleep but no one's even. Am I the only one who's like, what kind of name is that?
Her unique name was selected by her father.
Crazy. I can't. The trauma you must have being named Reality Winner. Was he on Survivor? Was he on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or Fuckboy Island? What connection? That's what we're supposed to assume, right?
Yeah. There's no way you could call your kid that was born in 1991 Reality Winner and not realize.
Wait, that's before reality TV really started, though.
That's true.
Change it then. Change that name. I cannot take this. I cannot take that the person I'm supposed to be like the Benedict Arnold or the that's the bad person, right? The Paul Revere of the 22nd century is going to be, or 21st century is Reality Winner. No, pick a name, a real name. I'd rather take Elon Musk's, equation name for his kid or Apple. Who's Apple? That's
Gwyneth Paltrow's kid.
Apple Paltrow. Bless you.
Thank you.
This is simulation shit. This is shit that's just like,
Oh yeah, this is definitely like one of those computer-generated people.
Yes,
reality winner doesn't exist.
It's like Fulcrum Spy, or like clandestine burger. Like just some weird. It's even weirder though, because this is like a reality show now.
Yeah,
this is a printout.
This is a randomly generated Reddit username.
Exactly. Yes. This is a handle.
Yeah.
Is this their hacker name? I cannot take this. What could they possibly release? What we already know what Snowden told us. What did reality winner tell us?
I guess she released some stuff on like the Trump, the Russian hacking or whatever.
Cares.
Yeah, it's kind of low stakes compared to.
If you're gonna blow a whistle nowadays, you better know what came before you. You can't just be like, "Hey, they're still spying." That's not whistleblowing. We need something bigger, right?
Yeah.
Kids are being eaten, right? A judge sings karaoke. Something crazy. We're bombing China and no one knows it. Crazy stuff. It can't just be the Russians and the hacking.
Yeah. Well, this says exactly what it was. It's working for NSA contractor Pluribus International Corporation. Winter printed the document labeled Top Secret that explained how Russian military intelligence officials hacked at least one supplier of voting software and tried to break into more than 100 local election systems before the polls closed in 2016. Yeah, it's like, this feels like one of those things where it's like, I'm pretty sure most of the major intelligence, it's not like they didn't care about the Russian hacking thing.
Right.
It's a lot of like the major intelligence organizations seem to be pretty invested in it.
Right.
Like it's not like war crimes abroad where it's like actively not only being repressed but like encouraged overseas.
Right.
Like it's like this just isn't the same. This feels like the US government trying to like advertise its own version of Snowden.
Right.
Like,
yes. That's a good point. Because why would you? I mean, let's assume all the best about Edward Snowden. I have no particular reason to look, he took his shot, right? I mean, it's like people are like, why isn't he criticizing the invasion of Ukraine? I think he has, but man, even if he didn't, now he's in Moscow. Now, is it possible that Edward Snowden was a Russian spy? Who knows? But I mean, like the NSA's leaking shit. We already knew they were doing shit like that, right? So the fact they were doing it wasn't a big surprise.
Right.
But you look how well it was received. Not well. They had to go to Moscow. Edward Snowden's in Moscow, right? They want to arrest him. Yeah. Right? The federal government didn't exonerate him. The general population is not like, oh, bring Snowden back. No one gives a shit. Julian Assange is rotting away in prison. No one seems to give a shit about that. The people aren't clamoring for change based on it. You know, it didn't set off a thing, a big revolution. It didn't change. I mean, the most we got was a little privacy setting on the iPhone. Why would you whistleblow at this point like this? It seems sus. Yeah. I don't trust it, mostly because of the name, Reality Winner. You should have changed your name before you whistleblew. And it could be, look, because that would be a weird blurb, like, Sandy Badafucci. And you'd be reading a Wikipedia page, you're like, whoa. It's kind of like, when you read about Bill de Blasio, the former mayor of New York City. Yeah. Until recently. And his real name is Wilhelm, what's his real name? Oh, yeah. Wilhelm something the third. It's something crazy. The point is, you'd be reading her Wikipedia.
Yeah, Warren Wilhelm.
Yeah, Warren. I am Bill de Blasio. Actually, I'm Warren Wilhelm III Jr. My father invented shipping. We ship all sorts of oils and whale oils. No, I'm Bill de Blasio. The same thing. You'd be reading.
I'm a direct descendant of the Kaiser.
You'd be reading Sandy Badafucci's Wikipedia page, the whistleblower, and you'd be looking at it one day, and I turn to you and I go, oh, this is weird. Their name used to be Reality Winner? What does that mean? Yeah. But at least it wouldn't be that anymore. Right. And then, of course, you go, oh, well, you would change it if that was your name.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the fact that they kept that name crazy. Trust anything. This is just disinformation on some level. This is, I mean, if you're gonna take, if that is your real name, and you're gonna take on the federal government, you're gonna play the whole optics game, the information warfare. You're gonna keep that name. You're ceding defeat. It's like going to a war with a gun made out of jelly bullets. Bullets made of jelly. Stupid.
When we do design the gun hand, it shouldn't be the only option, but can there be an option for jelly bullets?
It's a problem because maybe he has a grenade launcher that fires jelly. Because that can go on top. Because you don't want especially a gun hand, the mechanism. Think about what it does to the mechanism. It's gonna be gummed up in there. Jelly. I mean, it's hard to clean jelly if it dries. Come on. No, you don't understand guns at all. Jelly. No, a jelly launcher maybe a separate thing. But it's not. But that's not connected to the barrel of the gun. It goes on top. It's got its own feed.
Right.
Anyway. So what's going? So yeah, I mean, why is it in the news now? Did she leak this 4 years ago? Or is this something she's leaking now? Isn't this old news already?
Yeah, I mean, maybe she.
Why don't you leak something like we want to know, like what Obama ate for lunch?
She was sentenced to 5 years in prison beginning in 2018.
Well, what did you think was going to happen? You've seen what this was. Was this worth it?
And she got an early release in 2021.
All right. Well,
last year.
The judge was just confused by her name.
Yeah. We don't know which gender prison to put you in, so we're just letting you go.
I'm a woman. Nah. Reality winner. This seems like one of those weird names.
I feel like you're tricking me.
Yeah. All right, so that's we're just defaming people today.
Yeah, we're really
whatever. Pick a better name. Hey, my name is Kump. My name is Kump, and people never stop talking about how weird my name is. It's just Kump. It's Kump. It's not that crazy. Ray Kump. And people, my name is a point of. Not that they make fun of me per se, but it's just your name's actually Kump. What must this be? Reality winner, the big whistleblower.
Well, good for her for going to prison. That must have been hard.
It's like good for the. It's like punching a cop and going, oh, that must, good for her. What? You knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, but I guess that's supposed to be theoretically more noble.
What? Telling us about something no one cares about? No one cares. And why would why is it being leaked? Is the CIA secretly letting the Russians hack us? Or they're trying to stop them, right?
I would think that's the only thing that I don't understand about this leak. Is that I'm pretty sure most of Trump didn't have control over all these agencies when he was president. No president does really.
Well, you have some control, but sure. But yeah, look, some presidents get killed by these agencies. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that the NSA was saw that Russia was trying to hack voting machines and was just let it slide.
Sir, what do you got there? You got some kind of file?
I think they just
reality. You got some kind of file for me? Reality winner, come into my office.
Oh, hello, sir.
I hear you have some kind of information for me.
Yeah, the Russians tried to hack our voting systems during the election.
Is that even your name, reality? I can't understand what you're talking about. Yeah, the Russians?
I know it's an unusual...
Isn't the Cold War over? Get out of here. No one cares. That's what we're supposed to assume happened. I don't think they're look, of course they do terrible things, but there is a role of intelligence agencies. They don't just go broadcasting every threat all the time because sometimes it's they know, but they don't. You don't want
right, exactly.
You don't want the other side know what you know because it's a whole thing. Maybe you find out, when they broke Enigma, right back. It wasn't the CIA at that point, but the German code. They just got telling everyone. Imagine if someone leaked that. They fucking broke Enigma. They're not telling you about it. And the Germans are like, oh, all right.
Right, yeah, there's a certain amount of subterfuge or whatever that you're engaged in.
Now, if their leak was, concentration camps exist, and they're not telling you about it, That's fair. That should have been the leak, not the enigma. And neither one seemed to have. I don't know.
Yeah, tell us some more about those like toddlers that are in cages or whatever. Get some useful information.
Yeah, what are they eating?
Yeah, what are they eating?
They getting Go-Gurts? I'd like for them to have some Go-Gurts at least. Can we make that happen? I want to be the congressman who like just tries to make little things happen.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so, ma'am, you're the head of the ICE?
Yes, I am.
So you have these kids in cages that I'm here?
Yeah, well, look, people are going to tell you a lot of things about the kids in cages, but, you know, this isn't, you know, it's not a concentration camp.
No, I never said it was. I mean,
it's kind of a concentration camp.
No, I don't really care. But I would like, I mean, look, these kids are kids though, right? And kids, you know what I've noticed about kids?
Yeah.
They're like Go-Gurt. So man, can we while they're in our cages or concentration camp or whatever, can we get them some Go-Gurt? Can we get some funds appropriate? I motion to have a Go-Gurt fund moved.
Go-Gurt.
Yeah, it's a tube that you squeeze yogurt into your mouth with.
So not, you know, a lot of people in Congress are trying to get us to use funds for like, you know, flu shots for when flu season comes around.
I mean, I don't know how much that costs. I mean, if you want, I'm not trying to stop you from doing that. I would just like them to have a little Go-Gurt, you know, maybe once a week. A little treat. A little Go-Gurt treat. Can we do that? Come on.
We can give each kid half a Go-Gurt.
Oh, God, this this rat race of a Congress. Just give him a goddamn Go-Gurt, will you, lady? You can kill him for all I care. How do we get on Go-Gurts? You were telling me, or so the Pope. We're moving on.
Oh yeah,
reality winner. We wish you the best. The Pope is in Canada.
Yes,
and and they're apologizing, which I think it might be a weak move, but we'll see. For what is this catastrophic school policy in Canada? Explain this to me a little bit.
This was, I'm pretty sure, the U.S. kind of had its own version of this. But Canada apparently had one too, where it was these schools where Native American kids were
terrorist
basically
camps,
where Native American kids were basically like forcibly assimilated. And look, it was the kind of thing where they'd force them to be Christian. They'd force them if they started speaking in their native language, they'd get beaten. There was a lot of sexual abuse.
Oh, that?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That you should apologize for that. I'll apologize.
Is Pope Francis doing anything? It looks like he's just culturally appropriating and.
Well, yeah, he's used to wearing big hats, so I mean, you know.
That's true.
They want, yeah, whatever.
I wonder if they did if they joked about that with each other.
Hey man, I start wearing this in a midnight mass. So Francis is here. Apparently he was in a wheelchair. He left in a wheelchair because he's got a broken knee.
Really?
Yeah. Do you think he's been maybe like seen someone broke his knee? Because like maybe gambling. Maybe he's doing a little betting.
Gambling.
Yeah, maybe he's betting on like in the Vatican, betting on like the horses or the ponies or baseball.
I mean, is the Pope allowed to gamble?
Pope's not allowed to have sex with children either, but whatever. I love how you told me earlier. You told me like I think the Pope's apologizing for like molesting kids. No.
Yeah. Well, whenever I hear like horrific treatment of children in the Catholic Church, and they say, I'm just like, it must be molestation. But then it turned out it wasn't molestation. But then it turned out there was some molestation involved. It
does seem like all right. So it's like all right. It does seem like they had a meeting, and it was like, I want to apologize for again. They probably have made some apologies. I think Pope Francis was like, I want to apologize again for the whole scandal where we just fucked so many children and then covered it up for decades. And they're like, no, you can't do that. This is, it's not big in the news right now. You're going to bring it back. That's not great. That's not great PR. And he goes, all right, what's the second worst thing we've done to kids I can apologize for? And he goes, well, the Native Americans in Canada, we made them stop using their language and treat them like shit, but we didn't molest them. We did a little. When did we not molest any kids? When's that ever happen?
Just de-emphasize the part where we molested them.
Yeah, and wear the funny hat.
Yeah.
It's not funny hats. They're Native American. He's like, Francis is like, it's not funny hats. It's a ritual headdress. And it's just like, yeah, you know. Yeah. They'll put it in the paper because they'll think it looks funny. I mean, honestly, like, why is he wearing the headdress? Because it's supposed to be like a sight gag. There's no version of like, I don't know much about these cultures, but I don't think there's a fucking thing in their culture where it's like, please wear our sacred headdress. And it's a very great honor to us. Like, he's the Pope, so he's doing it, so it's some kind of like, kind of honor, maybe? But no, don't tell me that. Like, this is not like supposed to be like a fucking photo op with a sight gag.
Right.
It's shameful what the Pope's doing.
By the way, I just quickly Googled, is the Pope allowed to gamble?
Yeah.
And nothing came up, but what did come up was apparently the U.S. outlawed gambling on papal elections at one point.
Wow.
People were doing it, so they outlawed it.
How often does that happen? Like once every 30 years?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
it's
maybe...
papal, by the way, not papal.
You can't pronounce it papal?
I don't think so. It's not a chapel. It's a papal.
Look, I'm the one wearing the St. Jude.
Which one was St. Jude again?
Patron saint of lost causes and sick kids, I think. Or maybe that's just because the hospital's named after him.
You know, my favorite saint was Saint Anthony. Wait, no, Saint Michael, because he has a spear. He's got a spear, and you're stabbing the devil all the time.
He was stabbing the devil all the time.
Look up Saint Michael, the archangel. He's always stabbing the devil with a big spear. It's fun. I have a big statue. See?
Oh wow.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyway,
he's doing a little like pirouette while he stabs him.
Yeah, he's still an angel, so he's kind of weird, flighty. You were telling me about how the Pope, someone was trying to kill the Pope. What happened?
Well, this is like an old thing, but it came up when we were talking about the this new scandal that he apologized for. Apparently, there's like kind of a movement in the Catholic Church to. I guess whatever the equivalent of impeach is, like to impeach or get rid of Pope Francis. Yeah. Maybe those are the people who kneecapped him. But they're like, possibly. I think they tend to be more like conservative Catholics. Like they tend
like super Catholics.
Super Catholics. Yeah.
Like, okay.
But they at one point, like some of them met with like Alito and Kavanaugh. Okay. And like in private, like it's like they had like a private meeting with.
Fucked them.
Yeah, it was like there was this German princess and like a cardinal and an anti-LGBT person.
And they plotted to like overthrow the Pope?
Well, that's kind of what the insinuation of this like story was, but like I don't know, maybe they just talked about St. Jude.
I mean, what is this Pope? It is funny, this Pope is not liked by Catholics. And all he says is like sometimes gay people don't go to hell. And like Catholics lose their mind. Yeah. Like this is not traditional.
It's not traditional.
Sometimes if a person's trans, we should pray for them. I don't think he even says that. I think he's pretty like, no, don't do this. I guess I'm saying, I don't think this church, like he's just like, don't be racist. Yeah. Or something. Like what has he actually done? Why do people hate the Pope?
I don't know.
Google that.
I don't think. Why are you allowed to hate the Pope if you're Catholic?
Because look, they don't always speak emphatically. I think that's the term, or maybe it's like the Pope. Here's a weird thing: the Pope can speak. Is it emphatically, or is it like they can, or perfectly? There's a term for it. Infallibly, the Pope can speak infallibly, but that's they gotta declare that. Like it's like the Umbrella Academy when it's like I heard a rumor that you did this. You have to say I'm speaking emphatically. And then, like, you can
why can't he just say, I'm speaking emphatically, don't talk shit about me? Like, don't be talking shit.
You might be able to.
I'm the Pope.
You might be able to. You like Pope, the church has been corrupt for many years. You probably could say, I'm speaking emphatically is now a sin to speak against the Pope, me. Yeah. And like, we'll see how well that works, But like, why people hate him? You find something?
I think it's basically because of the, lukewarm attitude towards gay people.
It's just a gay thing? What did he say, though? First of all, aren't like half these cardinals like having sex with each other in like gay nightclubs? It's a thing. It's a whole thing there. I don't know how much of it is, but there's definitely a hate figure for the far right. But I don't think it's just the far right. I think Catholics in general, like a lot of them don't like him.
On a mountain outside Rome, Steve Bannon's anti-immigrant populism joins forces with Catholic extremists who say a, quote, gay plague has infected the Vatican. I think it's gay stuff.
So weird.
I guess some people wear T-shirts that say Benedict is my Pope.
Well, that's the other thing. You got like there's people out there who think that the Pope. I read there's some book where like I didn't read it because whatever, but like the Pope didn't use the right magic words when he resigned, so he's still the Pope. The other Pope was alive. I don't know what they're doing. This is the worst. This is the worst 50 years for the church. I mean, you got sex scandals out the ass. You got popes just like quitting, but then keeping. I mean, he might have been forced out of the job because of sex scandals. Who knows? Why
don't they just have a good old-fashioned schism?
What's that mean?
Just have just split up the church. Have two Catholic churches.
Well, okay. And what would you call what would the schism be?
One can be
the Delaware Catholic Church and the Roman Catholic Church.
Yeah. One can be the trad Catholic Church, and one can be the gay Catholic Church.
Okay, which one would be the gay one? The Roman one?
The one that Francis is Pope of.
Okay, and then the other Pope can go to Delaware.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of these corporations have been Delaware because it's like a tax haven, domestic tax haven. So a lot of corporations are based in Delaware. So the trad Catholic Church can be in the Delaware Catholic Church. And then now is there any difference in how much pedophilia is allowed? They change that at all?
No.
That's not a schism.
They're sticking to their guns on that one across the board.
So they're keeping the pedophilia.
Keeping that.
All right. So it's just a matter of like whether or not you like sometimes say gay people are okay.
Yeah.
Because like no one said like the Pope Francis was never like it's not a sin.
Yeah.
Pope Francis never said like I'm cool with it.
Right.
Like per se. He was just like, hey, just don't like be shitty to him for no reason, right? Like he didn't really. He's like, there's still people. They can still be Catholics. You can still get communion, I guess, or whatever. I don't know.
I think his famous line was, "Who am I to judge?"
Yeah. I love how that's like. Who am I to judge? Whether they seem happy. It's like this man is a gay plague. Interesting. The Delaware Catholic Church. I mean, what would the logo be? Just a black and white flag. Like instead of a rainbow flag?
Do churches have flags?
They probably have flags.
This church would have a flag.
Look up the flag of the Catholic Church. I'm sure there's a flag. Yeah,
there is a flag. Yeah. Well, this is the flag of Vatican City. This isn't the flag of the Catholic Church.
Well, look, you can't use the crucifix. That's too obvious. So we'll have a flag. Well, not we. I'm not part of it. Like they'll have a flag.
Oh, I guess it is. Some places saying it's the Roman Catholic Church flag. There's two. It's two keys.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
What? It's like a Russian nuclear launch thing. Like,
yeah.
We both return our keys to do what? Let us get out of a room. Anyway. Yeah. Interesting. So the Pope's is he still under? Is Steve Bannon still gonna overthrow him, or is he in jail now? I forget.
I think he is. Yeah, I don't know if it's at the top of his priority list right now, but I think if he could overthrow the Pope, he would.
He'd love to just.
I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, look, just for the pure power of it.
Look, yeah,
I'd overthrow the Pope.
Yeah, look for the clout alone. Just be like, what'd you do last summer? I overthrew the Pope. Me and a few guys. I wouldn't do it alone, but me and a few, a team I handpicked. We overthrew the Pope. And like some girl with some 40-year-old sun-baked girl, like drunk woman at a fucking Long Island, beachside bar, and you're just telling this fucking drunk old broad, and she's like, really? Yes.
Oh, really?
Hey, you want another Bloody Mary?
Sure. I got stabbed in the pussy by a sailfish earlier.
It's still work down there?
Yeah.
I won't be wasting my time here. Does plumbing still work?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. So anyway, me and my boys, we overthrew the Pope. You got anything you want to promote?
No.
Check out the Patreon. Every patreon.com/RayCump. You get an extra episode every week. Also, I will be doing a live podcast with Tim Dillon, the great Tim Dillon, on August 7th in Long Island at the West Hampton Performing Arts Center. That's the West Hampton PAC on August 7th. You go to timdilloncomedy.com to get tickets. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be me. It's Tim. It's a podcast. It's live. It's everything. Everything. So go show up for that. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening. Have a great week.